Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful that there are so many of you guys that are watching consistently and subscribing and commenting on my channel. I really appreciate the support. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about our introvertedness. And I'm guessing this is applicable to all introverts, but specifically for us because we are extremely introverted, especially as I said, as we get older. Something that I've noticed about my introvertedness is that it has phases, right? So it goes through cycles. It ebbs and flows depending on my mood, depending on all the different things going on in the world. For example, when I'm going through my period, right before it, I get extremely sociable. So I'm extremely social. I want to go out. I'm extroverted. I want to meet people. And obviously it has to do with the evolutionary biology of it. I'm not going to go into that, but I understand that that's the reason for it, right? And so if I know that my period's coming, I know that I'm going to have to schedule a couple of things in because that's how it is. I want to spend time with people, around that kind of energy. And obviously, during my period, I get extremely non-social. So I just want to sit at home and veg out. I just want to eat a lot of food, watch a lot of crappy TV, and sleep, right? So that's the ebb and flow of the relation to my period. And obviously it doesn't apply to the males that are listening to this, but I'm sure you guys have some sort of cycle as well in relation to your introvertedness. One of the things that I notice about my introvertedness is that I have this need, this absolute need, after I go out for a social event to come back home and recharge myself in a certain way. And this happens to me no matter how late I come back home. So I will come back home perhaps at 3 a.m. sometimes. Very rarely, but it does happen. I do go out. And so I go out, dancing, drinking. Not that I drink anymore, but when I used to, I'd go out and I come back home. No matter what time I come back home, I'd sit down in my bed, cozy and warm, the blankets over me, kind of hiding in my space, finally able to breathe that sigh of relief. I'm home. I'm in my space. I'm in my little cave where I can just relax and be by myself, right? And as soon as I get there, instinctively, I have this desire to just sit and be with myself in that silence, in that space for a few moments, for a few minutes, sometimes an hour, depending on how long I've been out, right? And so if it's been a really strenuous day and a really social day with a lot of extroversion involved, then I'll come back home and I'll need at least an hour of introversion and this solitude, this time of just reflection and going over the day and how did it go, what did I do, was it well, did it go well, did it not go well, and then reading a couple of things on my phone or watching a couple of animes or reading a couple of mangas. And with that hour or whatever that time limit might be, after that I'm finally able to say, okay, cool, I can go to sleep now. But before that, my mind is buzzing so much, my body is buzzing so much with all this energy that I've accumulated during the day, with all the extroversion that I've been doing, that I can't just drop into sleep right away, right? I might be exhausted, but I need that little bit of time and space in order to recharge myself perhaps, but also to understand what happened during the day. And that's something that introverts do a lot, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing. No matter how much I'm traveling, and no matter which hostel I'm staying in, no matter how noisy it is, I need to come back home after that day of being out, out versus in. That delineation is very clear. And once you're done with the world, once you're done with all your extroverted activities, once you're done with all of that extroversion, you can come back into your cave again. And as soon as that delineation is made, as soon as you're like, okay, good, I'm not going back out again, my bra is off, or my pants are off, and I can just sit here now and just relax and be by myself. As soon as that delineation is made, you go into that mode of reflection. As an introvert, I think we do this a lot because we need to understand how our day went. We need to analyze what we did right and what we did wrong, more importantly what we did wrong, and how we can improve ourselves. So we're sitting there, in our introverted mode, and we're looking out to the world, looking out, through our mind's eye at the world and at the day that we had. And we think to ourselves, what did I do right? How did it go right? What are the things that went really well and I can congratulate myself on it or be happy about it? And then of course, what went wrong? How did I behave foolishly? How was I awkward socially or otherwise? How did I do things that could be improved in the future? And then we look at both of those different sides, and then we analyze it and we learn from it. We integrate it into ourselves, and then we're able to go to sleep, right? So these are some of the quirks that we have as an introvert, and the time that we need in order to get that, that back, ourselves back, back to that level where we want to be. Now, we're not going to be at 100% obviously after this, it'll take a little bit of time for us to recover, and each introvert is different in that manner. Each INFJ is different in a manner, right? Some of you guys need maybe 3 or 4 hours to recover from this, from a long day of extroversion. Some of you might need a couple of days to recover from it. Maybe some of you actually even need a week or 2 to recover from it, right? So it depends on what extreme or what spectrum you are on in that introversion scale, right? For me, because I am a major extrovert, I might seem like an introvert to the extroverts in my group, but to the introverts in my group, I seem like an extrovert. And so because I am an extrovert, I go to a lot of events, especially in Chiang Mai where I'm right now. There's a lot of classes that I'm taking and a lot of groups that I've joined that I go to consistently. Even though right before I have to go to these events, I'm like, but really, do I have to? I mean, do I really have to? Can't I just stay at home? Can't I just learn this stuff on the internet? And then I have to really force myself and I have to slap myself, mentally and say, no, you have to go out and you have to be around people. Otherwise, you're just going to be an extreme otaku, which is a Japanese term for people who just stay at home and do their thing. And I'm a major otaku. I can be a major otaku. I have tendency toward it, where I can just sit at home and read my mangas and do my work all day long without interacting with people for an extended period of time, and I'm completely fine with that. That's one of the reasons my mom is extremely afraid for me and my future, because she's like, you're already a hermit and you're in your 30s. What's going to happen when you're older? She worries about me that I'm going to be dead and no one's going to be able to find that, or no one will know that I'm dead, because I don't actually interact with anyone. It makes me laugh. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh about that stuff. But seriously, it is extremely easy for me to be in solitude for a long period of time. And so I force myself to go to all these events. Once I get to the event, it's fun and I'm learning stuff and I'm excited. But obviously the push to get there is a little bit difficult. But as I said, I'm more extroverted than a lot of introverts that I know. And so I always need less time to recover from events. I can go to a 3-day music festival and then come back home and then, have a couple hours on my own, or maybe a day on my own, and then I'm fine. And I'm back to normal and I can go off and do my thing. But as I said, there's a huge spectrum of introversion, and some of you guys are going to be on the I need 6 months to recover scale, and some of you guys are going to be I need an hour to recover from it, kind of thing. So there's obviously differences in the way we introvert as well. Introvert, it's a verb now. And so that I find fascinating, because that's what I do with the world. That's what introverts do with the world, basically, is that we observe the world and we look at the world and we try to learn from it, right? That's one of the reasons why introverts love people watching. It's because it's a great way of interacting with the world without actually interacting with people. You're standing back, you're being an observer, you're watching people, but you don't actually have to talk to them, or you don't have to interact with them. You don't have to say anything to them. You can just watch them do their thing. It's like watching animals in a zoo or in a cage. Not that I like zoos in any way or shape or form. I think zoos are horrible places. But in general, it's like watching an animal in a cage or a human in a cage, where you're just watching them and they're doing their thing, they're going about their daily business, they're in a relationship, and you're just watching them and saying, oh, that's how they behave. Oh, okay. And you're taking notes and you're like learning about how it is to be a human. INFJs do this a lot, obviously, because we're confused about how it is to be a human. What does it mean to be a human? I have no idea. I still don't know, and I'm 35. I literally, seriously, guys, have no idea what it is to be a human being on this planet. I'm so confused by it. It's one of those questions that really occupies a lot of my mind, because I'm constantly learning about it and I'm constantly confused about it. So I hope this makes sense to you guys. These are some of the things I've noticed about us and our introversion, not only as INFJs perhaps, but introverts in general. Although I do notice this particularly for INFJs, because I watch INFJs more than I watch any other group of people. to do these videos apparently. Also because I'm fascinated with myself, and I'm like, what is it? Who am I? What am I doing with this life? What am I doing the right thing? Am I living the right way? And so I'm always trying to observe and learn more and more about ourselves. So I shared a couple of points about introversion in this video, a couple, 2, 3 points. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, but also, did you guys learn from it? Did you find any of those points poignant for you, like applicable to you? And if not, let me know. And if yes, please let me know as well. I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, share some introversion tips or tricks that you guys have for other introverts in the group, or other things that you've noticed about yourself, about your introversion to the group as well. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I'm sure everyone else will as well. Again, thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.